Welcome back to Titleholder Talks with Emily. I am so excited to have you all with me on this episode today. Titleholder Talks with Emily is a podcast all about sharing the stories and experiences of title holders across all pageant systems. Today's guest is a very special guest, and I am so excited for y'all to get to hear all of her stories and experiences throughout her time in pageantry. See you when she joins! So we have a very special guest joining us on the podcast today, and Grace, if you want to introduce yourself, go right ahead.
Hi, y'all. My name is Grace Evans, and I am the current Miss New Mexico's Teen 2024.
Yay, so exciting. So to jump right into these questions today, first and foremost, how did you get your start in pageantry and in the Miss America opportunity specifically?
Just by starting doing it, my sister first did it when I was maybe 14, and my plan was to do it the next year after she competed, but then COVID happened, and then I went into high school, so it took a little bit longer, but I was like, oh, hey, wait, I forgot I wanted to do this. Let's do it.
That is so awesome. I know COVID definitely threw off a lot of people's plans, especially within the pageant world, going into the 2019-2020 competition season. A lot of people didn't get to compete, which is unfortunate, but it brought forth those other opportunities that we were able to accomplish and then come back to them. And now you are a state title holder, which is so exciting.
Yes.
So within the Miss America opportunity, all local, state, and national title holders have a community service initiative. So talk to us a little bit about your personal community service initiative. What is it? How did you start it? And then what have you been able to do with it so far?
So my initiative is actually entitled Find Your Spark, Make Your Mark. And it's all about finding something that you're passionate about and doing something about it. So spark is actually defined as the language of human thriving. And so for me, it's performing. I love being on a stage. I'm a dancer. I was also a cheerleader, so I just love putting on a show for people. But it's also, kindness or commitment to a cause. It can honestly be anything, anything that brings you joy individually. So I've been able, something I love that I started doing was asking people to share their stories. Because in my local hometown, we have singers, football players. So I like asked these people to kind of share their video or to take a video sharing their story, and I've been able to share their story further.
That is so unique, and I absolutely love that. And as somebody who also is a dancer and cheerleader, it's so awesome to see that you're kind of pushing the envelope in terms of really getting people to share their stories and make their mark on the world by sharing those stories and also getting out into their communities and doing what they love. So that's very special. So to move into some more fun questions, what was your favorite memory that you were able to make at your state competition this past year?
This past year, my favorite memory. Okay, so during pageant week, we went in our opening number dresses and we went to go take photos in downtown Alamogordo. And I don't know, it was maybe like 108 degrees outside. You have all these girls out there with these like sparkly short dresses on. And we're like walking across the street just with a bunch of cars stopped looking at us. And it was just funny because it was like we were all just, like, laughing, like, "Oh my gosh, people probably think we're crazy," like but it was a good time. It was hot, and everyone was like, "Can we go back?" But it was definitely a good memory.
That is such a special memory to have. Not only were you able to kind of relax and really have fun and laugh during what could be a stressful week for you guys or a stressful competition, but you also were able to do that with your friends and with your sisters. And that is kind of, again, what the Miss America opportunity is all about is, sisterhood. So it's great that you got to
Yep.
have the opportunity to really be calm and have fun with your sisters. I know during Miss America's Teen Week, we had a very similar experience where we were filming our finals day out or intros, excuse me, and we were in our opening number cocktail dresses from Giovanni, and we were just on the stairs at the Hard Rock Theater, and everyone was like stopping on the board or on the walk near on Universal and was just looking at us while we were filming with the film crew and everything, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, what is going on?" So it's a great experience, and I'm excited that you are going to have more fun experiences like that at Miss America's Teen to come.
Yes, I'm so excited. I honestly cannot wait.
So to keep on with the fun questions, what is your favorite phase of competition and why is that your favorite phase?
Favorite phase? I've gotta say talent just because I absolutely love to dance and um going through competition it can be very nerve-wracking, like making sure your fitness pattern is right, like what you've been practicing, that you don't trip. Same with evening gown, you have these beautiful gowns on and these heels. You're like, oh, what if I like wobble a little bit? But for me, like I said, I'm a dancer, so when it comes to talent, I'm like, I've done this dance so much. It's what I'm good at, and I'm like, "I got it. Piece of cake."
I absolutely agree. Again, like I mentioned before, as somebody that's also a dancer, talent is one of the phases of competition where I can actually kind of just like sit back and relax and go on autopilot. Because, like you mentioned, like I've done this before how many times? I know what I'm doing. I know this routine by heart, and I can just go out there and have fun and not even worry about anything because I've done this so many times. So it's good to see that another person in the sisterhood also has similar experiences and a similar talent as well.
Yep.
So, what is your favorite point of the Miss America crown and why?
It's gotta be the sisterhood. I mean, obviously, like, I think every single part is important when it comes to service, style, everything, but when it comes to the sisterhood, I think it's just so amazing because you just have all these girls from every single state, and you just automatically, like, have that connection because you are all state title holders, and, you go from not knowing any of these girls to spending an entire week with them when it comes to Miss America, and you automatically have friends. It's not like walking in like, "Oh, I don't know anybody," because you already make these connections. Like for me and some of the other girls, like we're already reaching out to each other and having conversations, talking about our community service initiatives, what we're doing in our community. So it's just nice being able to know like this isn't just my first time either. Like it's everybody's first time. So
Absolutely. And again, like I mentioned before, the sisterhood is one of the most special aspects of Miss America and Miss America's Teen Week. You're going to have so many fun activities that you're doing. You're going to hang out, obviously, the entire time during rehearsals and the competition and everything like that. And we actually had a class group chat. So before we even got to Miss America's Teen Week, we were texting, like, oh my gosh, like, I did this today, or we get to do this. And we were so eager to meet each other that when it finally came time to meet each other in January, we felt like we already knew each other because we were getting to know each other through social media. And I'm glad that you guys are getting to have that experience too, because it definitely helps when you go into this week and obviously you know nobody but your miss and maybe like
Mhm.
supportive directors or supporters that are coming with you to support you, but nobody in competition besides maybe your miss, and you get to connect with them beforehand and really kind of get to know them one on one. It's just so special. I'm so excited for all of you guys.
yes.
So you were only crowned a few weeks ago, around like I'd say around a month ago, maybe?
A little over a month ago.
Yeah, so you haven't been crowned for too long. So far, what have you been able to accomplish as Miss New Mexico's Teen 2024?
Honestly, growing the Miss New Mexico organization within itself. My hometown of Hobbs is not super big on like pageantry or anything. So even with my local title, just going out and making appearances, people were like reading my title and they were like, oh, what is that? So I was able to talk about the Miss New Mexico organization and lead up to the Miss America, Miss America's teen organization. And so honestly, just by holding the title, I've been able to kind of grow and expand the organization within my community so far.
That is so wonderful. And it also is so helpful to not only you and your miss as title holders, but also to your organization because the more people that get involved and donate, the more scholarships that they're able to give out during competition, which is so wonderful. And that also ties into the next question that I'm going to ask you, which is what are you planning to do with the scholarship dollars that you have earned so far competing?
Start going to school. I actually just graduated in May, so I'm going to school this upcoming August. And I'm actually, thanks to Miss New Mexico and Miss America, I'm going completely debt free. I have plenty of scholarships from competing as well as just any other scholarships that I've gotten. So using it to pay for school.
Absolutely. And as somebody that is a rising sophomore in college, those scholarships are so very important. And I'm sure you know when filling out maybe applications and FAFSA and all that kind of stuff, you know how important scholarship money can be, especially as you mentioned, you've gotten some outside scholarship money and your money from the Miss America opportunity, the Miss New Mexico organization. You know how crazy it is when you're going to apply for college. So it's so
Mhm,
awesome to hear that you are going completely debt free. And that is another reason for me, especially, that the Miss America opportunity is just so unique and so helpful and special.
mhm.
So you mentioned Miss America's Teen earlier, and we talked about it a little bit, but it's coming up and it's going to come up really, really quickly. And actually, you guys are going to be finding out the dates and the times and the location and everything after tomorrow because
Yeah.
Miss Puerto Rico's Teen are tomorrow. So you guys are going to
Mhm.
be finding out really quickly and starting prep and everything. So, what are you most looking forward to going into Miss America's Teen Week?
Oh, I don't know. Honestly, just the experiences of being there, honestly, because you're there for an entire week with all of these amazing girls, and it's honestly just a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like it's something you'll never get to do again. So the rehearsals, the boring parts, the exciting parts, the actual competing, just probably the whole experience within itself.
I 100% agree. You're going to get to do so many fun activities, especially because this year is going to be the 20th anniversary of the Miss America's Teen competition. So I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun activities that you're doing by itself, but you're also going to have so many fun anniversary activities and social media content that we're going to be a part of. But also, like you mentioned, the boring parts of just sitting around in the dressing room waiting or having fun dancing at rehearsals or just sitting backstage during competition with your sisters. Every single part of that week is so, so incredibly special. And just remember to take everything in and be as calm and happy and joyful as you can because it goes by like that. And it's so wonderful to get to be a part of only a special group of people that not many people get to experience that. So I just can't wait to see all of you guys go and have the best time of your life. And hopefully, actually, that I will be there. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to come and watch you guys and cheer you on. So, yes, I hope I'm able to come and see you guys live out your dreams.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be so much fun.
Absolutely. So that actually brings us to the last question of our little chat today. So a lot of state competitions are, ramping up, but local competition season is also starting to get really ramped up as well. And a lot of local title holders are starting to be crowned. So what advice would you give to any girls who are preparing to compete in their state or currently their local competitions that are happening soon?
Honestly, this is something that my pageant director told all of us when we went for our state workshop, and it was just when you go into competition week, be completely authentic to who you are, because it's the judges that are judging. It's them who inevitably are picking the title holder at the end of it. So let your personality shine, whether it's in your interview or it's on stage. Just be completely who you are because you're not trying to fit the crown. You're not trying to be someone who can have this. You're trying to be like, "You know what? This is me. This is why I want this." And it would just be an amazing opportunity. So just being who you are. It sounds super cliche, but it's honestly probably the best piece of advice that I got, and that's what helped me get through my state pageant week.
I absolutely love that. That is one of the number one pieces of advice that I have been able to not only receive, but also been able to give to young title holders that are like, I'm not sure if I want to compete yet, or I'm really nervous about my competition. I always tell them, first off, right off the bat, is be yourself and be confident in who you are, especially when you're going into the interview room, because that's the first time you're meeting the judges. And if they're able to see who you truly are and have fun and laugh with you and really get to know who you are, not just walking in a gown on stage and hearing you talk on stage for 30 seconds or all that on stage competition where they're not really able to get to know the real you. You want to make sure that your personality shines throughout the entire competition and really be yourself because, like you said, you're not trying to fit the crown. You're trying to be yourself. And at
Mm,
the end of the day, the judges will choose you, not because they think that you fit some perfect mold. So I
Yeah.
love that so much. It was such a great piece of advice. And I hope any girls that are listening to this is able to take that advice.
Yes, I think, going into pageant week, obviously, like, it's not too stressful until it comes down to, like, actual competition starting. So I remember constantly throughout the week, that's what our pageant director was telling us, what our former title holders were telling us that entire week. And going into my interview, I was like, "You know what? Like, you're fine." And then I walked in that room and I, like, started stressing out. Because I was like, "Ooh, like, I don't know, what are they gonna ask? How do I answer?" And then first question off the bat that I got was actually about my high school mascot and what it meant to me, and it just reminded me, like, "You know what? Like, you just graduated high school, you were a Hobbs Eagle," like so I was able to talk about that, and it just helped me, like, just, like, take a breath, and then it just the rest of the week was so smooth.
Absolutely. And also being you is being confident. And like you mentioned, you were a little bit nervous, but as soon as they asked you a question that you were like, oh yeah, I got this, you were confident, you were able to smile and have fun and really show your true self. And you also were able to get to know the judges through that and just being confident in not only your abilities, but you as a person is so, so important. So I absolutely love that, and I 110% agree. But that does bring us to the end of this little chat that we were able to have today. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and joining me today. I had the best time getting to know you.
Thank you so much for reaching out to do this, like, when you first reached out, I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Of
yes."
course, as somebody that is a former state title holder and really wanted to get more into this project of mine, I was like, I'm going to reach out to all of the state teen title holders from the Miss America opportunity and Miss America's teen program, and then start to branch out into other pageant systems and other organizations. So it's been my pleasure getting to know all of you guys. And like I mentioned earlier, hopefully I get to travel down to Miss America's teen whenever and wherever that may be, so I can get to meet you guys in person and also cheer you on during such an exciting week.
Yay, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, that was Titleholder Talks with Emily, all complete. I hope you enjoyed getting to hear all of Grace's wonderful stories and experiences throughout her time in the Miss America opportunity, because I know I did. Titleholder Talks with Emily will be going live on Spotify and YouTube at Titleholder Talks with Emily, and I will be posting clips from this episode, previous episodes, and future episodes on my Instagram at Titleholder Talks with Emily. See you in the next one!